Hey dance sisters, Audrey Davis-Dunning here, your favorite African dance teacher. Today, I want to give you three tips to help you remember your African dance steps. You know what happens. You go to African dance class, you learn step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, 6, step after step after step. And you have a good time. You may even be rocking the steps up in that class. And the minute, and I do mean the minute you leave the dance studio, you're like, wait a minute, what was that step? How'd that go? You've been there, right? You know what I'm talking about. We don't want that to happen. We want to remember our African dance steps when we come out of class. So here are 3 tips that I want to share with you to help you keep those steps in your mind. First and foremost, I like to name my steps. Name them. It's a way for me to remember. So if I'm doing a step that has like a little hip twist going on, in my notes, and you should have an African dance notebook, I'm gonna call that the twister, because I know the main movement is a twist. So it helps me remember, oh, the twister, yeah, the first step she taught was the twister. Ba, da, 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 ba, right? Or maybe it's a hip and head step. Hip and hip and head and head. Hip and hip, head and head. Hip and head, da, ga, boom, boom. All right? That'll help me remember. So name the step. And listen, we know that this isn't the official name of the step. You're naming the step as a memorization tool. So there's no wrong way to do it. Sometimes I even name the steps after a dance sister of mine who was rocking that step. I see her do that step, I'd be like, ooh, look at Linda. Linda rocked that step. And in my book, I might write, the Linda step, yeah, the Linda step. In her honor, and then I'll remember the way she did it. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's that step, that's the Linda step. So tip number 1, name the step. Tip number 2, I talked about it a little bit. You gotta write it down, baby. Write down your step and write it down in a way that you remember it. Turn to the right and turn to the left. Arm, up and head. Write it down. Any way that you will remember. If you really want to get deep with it, and I had a student who did this, she literally, and I mean literally, drew the step. We had a step where we went around. She showed me her notebook, and she literally drew the rotation to the left and to the right, and then the next movement down, she drew it. Now that's commitment. She was gonna make sure she remembered that step. So write it down in a very descriptive way, or if you feel so inspired or you're an artist, draw it out, all right? So name it, write it down or draw it out. And last but not least, tip number 3, ladies, pull out your phone, grab a dance sister and say, listen, tape me, videotape me while I do this step. Because I won't remember all these pieces. So tape me, please. People will be happy to do it. And then what will happen as you go to dance class and religiously do this? Just tape your favorite 2 or 3 steps that you really want to capture. You will create a little library for yourself of African dance vocabulary that you can build on. All right? So those are my easy breezy 3 tips to remember your African dance steps. These are our steps that are powerful, part of our culture, and empower you to make you feel and look your best. You don't believe me? Give it a try. Come dance with me. Yes, I have a free online class where you can come and dance with me because I believe I can show you better than I can tell you. So click all the information below and I'll see you on the dance floor. Bye.